Florian Wirtz'S first conversation after Bayer Leverkusen transfer shows Liverpool star's true determination. Florian Wirtz demonstrated his intention to reach the pinnacle of football long before joining Liverpool, with his first chat after signing for Bayer Leverkusen saying it all. Florian Wirtz made his position perfectly clear. Florian Wirtz has always had his sights set on becoming world-class. The 22-year-old talent, who completed his record-breaking £116 million move to Liverpool from Bayer Leverkusen last month, had previously spent a decade honing his skills at Cologne's academy before making the switch to their German rivals in 2020. Tim Stuyden, the man responsible for bringing Wirtz to Leverkusen and former technical director at West Ham, alongside Simon Rolfs, their managing director of sport, were instrumental in signing the then-teenager. Recounting their initial meeting on Sky Sports Germany, Stuyden shared the moment he realized Wirtz's lofty ambitions. "Many people ask me whether he will be able to establish himself at Liverpool," he said. "For me, that is beyond question. My answer is always clear. Yes, I remember our first conversation with him in Simon Rolf's office very well. His parents were there too. Simon asked him, 'Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve?' And Florian replied, 'I want to become the best player in the world.'" During his 5-year stint with Leverkusen, Wirtz proved his mettle as one of the world's finest players, justifying the hefty sum the Premier League champions shelled out for him. Tim Stuyden worked alongside Simon Rolfs to sign Florian Wirtz for Bayer Leverkusen. After arriving for his first day of preseason training on Tuesday, amid the somber backdrop of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva's sad passing, Wirtz and his teammates will certainly be determined to honor the legacy of their number 20 with a triumphant season ahead. Speaking after becoming Liverpool's record signing, the German international expressed grand aspirations. "I would like to win everything every year. In the end, we want to be successful. Last season, they won the Premier League, so my goal is for sure to win it again and also to go further in the Champions League. I'm really ambitious." Wirtz described his move to Liverpool as the vital next step in his progression, confessing, "I'm really excited to have a new adventure in front of me. This was also a big point of my thoughts." The 22-year-old has lofty ambitions for his Liverpool career. "I want to have something completely new, to go out of the Bundesliga and to join the Premier League. I will see how I can perform there. I hope I can do my best. I just thought that it was the right point in my career to make the next step. And of course, I wanted to get to a club that is from the top 3 in the world. In my opinion, Liverpool is one of them. I just saw myself in the best hands in Liverpool. I was really convinced by the people here, by the idea, and everything what the club offers me was really good." He's expected to make his debut in the club's opening preseason match against Preston North End on Sunday, which is scheduled to be televised on ITV, pending confirmation of the fixture going ahead after the recent passing of Jadon and his brother. Nunez stuck as Liverpool reject Napoli €55 million offer. Napoli's first bid worth €55 million, pound 47 million / $64 million for Liverpool forward. Darwin Nunez has been reportedly rejected by Premier League champions, Liverpool. SoftFootball's intel confirmed that Napoli's offer was way below the Reds' valuation of the striker. Antonio Conte looks to bolster his Serie A winning squad as the Italian champions are considering the Uruguayan as a priority transfer target among all their options after a meeting between club owner Aurelio De Laurentiis and the player's agent Fali Ramadani. However, they seem to be facing a strong Liverpool resistance at first approach. According to transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, the 20 times Premier League title holders want more than the offered amount. He said in his video on YouTube, €50 million was never going to be enough for Liverpool, despite the reports we had in the recent hours, Romano asserted. Napoli know with that kind of money, Liverpool will never accept a proposal for Darwin Nunez. But in the next days, weeks, Napoli are expected to try again for Darwin. He remains their top target. I told you everything about this story, how Nunez opened the door to Napoli 2 weeks ago, how Napoli started negotiation with a mission more than 10 days ago. Napoli remained focused on this Darwin Nunez deal, the Italian transfer guru finished off saying. Napoli is believed to have convinced Nunez with an annual salary of between €5 million and €6 million, even though it will cost them double of what one of their target Udinese striker Lorenzo Luca would go for. Nunez will be a good addition to the Lukaku and Raspadori striker partnership in Naples. The Conte-led team have decided to let talisman Victor Osimhen leave the club this summer and are looking to add new attackers in the fold for next season. Napoli have decided that they will not consider Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen for the 2025-2026 season, as the Serie A champions are finalizing a deal for a new attacker. It was reported earlier that the GLI Azzurri ordered Victor Osimhen to resume for pre-season, but also informed the striker that he will only train with the youth team till his future is sorted. The striker's release clause is €85 million. Napoli are, however, not waiting for Osimhen to be sold, as they have agreed to buy Noah Lang from PSV for €28 million fee plus sell-on clause. Liverpool set price tag for Luis Diaz amid Barcelona and Bayern Munich rumors, and it looks like a typo. Liverpool have named their price for Luis Diaz, who is wanted by Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Liverpool have named their price for Luis Diaz amid interest from European giants Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Arne Slot has added to his Premier League title-winning squad by recruiting Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz'S, and Milos Kerkez this summer. Both Frimpong and Wirtz'S, who cost a club record £116 million, joined from Bayer Leverkusen, while Gyokeres moved from Bournemouth in the region of £40 million. A player who worked under Slot at Feyenoord is also on Liverpool's radar. But Liverpool also plan to offload players, with Trent Alexander-Arnold signing for Real Madrid. Harvey Elliott and Darwin Nunez have also been linked with a move away from Anfield. Not to mention Diaz, who joined Liverpool from Porto for £37.5 million in January 2022. Diaz has made 148 appearances across all competitions since signing for the club, scoring 41 goals. He played 36 league games in his side's league-winning campaign. Luis Diaz helped Liverpool win the Premier League last season. So, despite being a key member of Slot's squad, the club would be prepared to let him leave if they receive a good offer. According to German outlet BILD, Liverpool would sanction Diaz's transfer if a deal worth €82 million, £71 million, is tabled. However, Barca are reluctant to reach Liverpool's figure and will pursue a move for Marcus Rashford if they cannot strike a deal with the Premier League champions. Manchester United's Rashford is also on Barca's radar as they seek to strengthen their forward line ahead of the new season. Barcelona will pursue a move for Marcus Rashford if they cannot strike a deal with Liverpool for Luis Diaz. Bayern, however, could stump up the cash as they look to replace Jamal Musiala following his horrific injury sustained in his side's Club World Cup defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. Musiala suffered a fractured fibula and will be out for at least 4 months. His injury has accelerated the need for Bayern to bring in attacking reinforcements, with the Bundesliga champions making Diaz their top target after looking at Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams and PSG's Bradley Barcola. The Colombian is also attracting interest from Saudi Pro League outfit Al Nassr. Jadon Sancho pushing to get Man United exit sorted ASAP. Man United winger is reportedly close to finally leaving the club for Italian giants Juventus with a basic agreement in place. According to journalist Alfredo Padula, Juventus and Man United have agreed to a fee of €25 million, £21.5 million, $29 million, for the 25-year-old. The fee is understood to be slightly less than the obligation to buy Chelsea had in their loan deal, which they ultimately got out of for a fee of £5 million. Chelsea were keen on keeping Sancho at the club beyond last season, but were unable to agree a deal with the player that would be within their wage structure. Juventus are yet to agree terms with the England international, but are understood to be offering him a salary of €5 million, £4.3 million, $5.9 million, plus bonuses. Here we go. Newcastle agree deal to sign Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest. Club-to-club agreement now in place for £55 million fee, as personal terms have also been agreed with his camp. New winger, an excellent addition for Howe. The Magpies have found the right-sided winger they had been looking for. Despite the spectacular season Jacob Murphy enjoyed last term, Newcastle were keen to bring in an upgrade heading into this summer. Initially, Eddie Howe and company had wanted to sign Brian Mbeumo, but the Brentford forward quickly made it clear to Newcastle and his other suitors that he had his heart set on a move to Manchester United. This forced the Magpies to sound out different options, and Elanga quickly emerged as the standout option, with the Swede believed to be an ideal stylistic fit for Howe's side. At 23, Elanga still has room to develop, but he is already a proven Premier League performer who is not afraid to do the dirty work defensively, despite his attacking drive. Newcastle agree Elanga deal. After seeing an opening bid rejected 2 weeks ago, Newcastle have now agreed a deal to sign Elanga, according to Fabrizio Romano. The Transfer Insider reports that the St. James's Park Club and Forest have settled on a €64 million fee. Elanga has agreed personal terms on a long-term deal and is now set for a medical ahead of his move to the Champions League side in what is a transfer that will not only delight Newcastle. In 2023, Elanga signed for Forest from Man Utd, and the old Red Devils regime had the foresight to include a 15% sell-on clause in his deal, which means that the Old Trafford outfit will benefit handsomely from Elanga's move. Although the 15% only applies to the profit turned on Elanga, this still amounts to a sizable €7.2 million for Man Utd, as Forest only paid €16 million for the Swede 2 years ago. Sporting president Varandas rejects Arsenal's latest €65 million bid for striker Gyokeres. Sporting president Varandas rejects Arsenal's latest €65 million bid for striker Gyokeres. Sporting Lisbon president Frederico Varandas has rejected Arsenal's latest bid for striker Victor Gyokeres. The Gunners are closing in on a move for Gyokeres, who has scored 97 goals in 102 games since joining Sporting Lisbon back in 2023. The Swedish international has been linked with both Arsenal and Manchester United in recent months, but it looks like the Red Devils' interest has died down. Arsenal are pushing to strike a deal for Gyokeres, but their recent bid is wide off the mark as the Portuguese side try to get it the best price possible for the 27-year-old who is in his prime. Speaking on his YouTube channel on Monday afternoon, journalist Fabrizio Romano confirmed Varandas had rejected the deal as negotiations stall. There was a new contact last night between Arsenal and Sporting to try to accelerate and close the deal on the transfer fee package, and so club to club with Sporting. But Sporting and their president, Frederico Varandas, are still not accepting the final details of the proposal made by Arsenal. It doesn't mean that it's over, but obviously I don't want to give you a feeling of a negative update, but it's part of the negotiation. So yesterday there was a new club-to-club contact, and Sporting are insisting on €70 million fixed fee, while Arsenal were starting at €65 million plus add-ons. Sporting wants €76 million, so that's the position of the club. Arsenal have signed 2 new players so far this summer in Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea and midfielder Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Gyokeres could be their 3rd summer signing, but the club must up their bid to match Sporting's demands, or manager Mikel Arteta could head into the season without a world-class striker. Manchester United outcasts hold up Bryan Mbeumo transfer as risky Ruben Amorim ban could backfire. Ruben Amorim's plan to banish the Manchester United rebels and outcasts could blow up in his face as they hold the cards to the Red Devils transfer window and are scuppering the Bryan Mbeumo deal. Ruben Amorim's Man Utd outcasts hold the cards to the transfer window. Ruben Amorim will feel like he's having the last laugh on those Manchester United rebels who want to leave. Ansto, blocking them from returning to training because he can't stand the sight of them is a bold move. And it's a brave one too, because it's also one now in danger of blowing up in his face. The Portuguese is becoming increasingly frustrated with the summer so far. If he's not careful, he will discover to his cost that the likes of Marcus Rashford Co. will be laughing the loudest and longest. Rashford, along with Jadon Sancho, Anthony and Alejandro Garnacho, were not welcome back at Carrington when the squad returned for preseason training today, Monday. The official line is United want to give them more time to resolve their futures, and time is what this lot have. The transfer window doesn't close until August. In the meantime, Rashford and his band of not-so-merry men can hang around picking up combined wages of £750 000 a week without having to lift much more than their mobile phones, let alone a finger. Bryan Mbeumo's Man Utd move has hit a stalemate. A quick call to their respective agent just to see if there is an escape route in the offing. If not, then all of them can sit tight and wait for the right club to come along. And in the process, put the brakes on Amorim plans to sign their replacements. It's no secret United have to sell before Amorim can buy. An exception was made with Matheus Cunha, but United no longer have that well of cash to dip into as and when they choose. Man Utd want to offload both Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. It has run dry due to a combination of overspending in the past, meeting financial regulations now, and the reluctance of co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe to repeat costly mistakes. United have made 2 bids for Bryan Mbeumo, but Brentford want more. United can't deliver more, or don't want to, hence the stalemate between them and Brentford. Anthony and Alejandro Garnacho are also on the chopping board, and this will become a common and frustrating theme for Amorim until the fire sale he has planned gets ignited. But those star names he once shut off continue to hold the matches. The power and control rests with them. The Portuguese coach should be applauded for not accepting nonsense from the quartet, but he also has to accept that such a hardline approach could have consequences he might not like. And the more desperate United look, the lower the value of these outcasts becomes.